Logan Paul versus Dillon Danis, KSI versus Tommy Fury. Guys, I don't know why you think KSI stands a chance against Tommy Fury. His last fight, he literally won by an illegal elbow. So I don't get it. That fight's going to be pointless almost to me. I'm going to watch it, of course, but Tommy Fury is just going to make easy work of KSI. I mean, it's not even going to be close, to be honest with you guys. It's going to be exciting, but it won't be close. Now, the main event, in my opinion, is the Dillon Danis and Logan Paul fight just because of the drama. Yes, Dillon Danis, you've sold the fight. Dillon Danis has carried this card on his back and fucking made it, like, dramatic. He made it entertaining. He made us want to watch it. Only reason why I'm going to watch this fight card in general. And I'm only watching the last two fights. I just want to see how these guys do. Because, like I said, KSI has no chance. And Logan Paul, the dude's roided up. He talks a lot of shit. He scammed his fans. He's just so unlikable. And I just want Dillon Danis to get the job done and get him out of here. And, I mean, Dillon Danis, he's a little bit likable now. Logan Paul, I'm sorry. You getting knocked the fuck out. KSI, I'm sorry. You're not that good. And just fight Jake Paul already. Hey guys, welcome to the False Line Podcast here with episode 169. If I'm not mistaken, the last 2 days I've been trying to figure out what episode are we on. I don't know. I don't know if it's 168, 169. We might even be at 170. I don't know. I gotta figure it out though. I need to figure it out. Last night I posted a little YouTube clip. It's gonna be in the pod towards the end when I talk about UFC. So guys, if you haven't seen that, go check it out. Or check it out in this video. And if you're coming from that video to here, welcome to the False Nine. Like I said, I don't know what episode we're on. This is Oliveira, me, the False Nine podcast host. So let's talk about this fight tomorrow. Or fight card, Nothing. It's pure entertainment, in my opinion. It's nothing serious. It's not like high stakes. It's just all... it's just entertainment, in my opinion. I'm sure these guys trained hard and shit like that. But, the reality is it's all entertainment. The only serious person on here is Tommy Fury, and I'm starting to take him a little bit less serious for taking these fights. But I get it. The bag must be nice. But, yeah, we got KSI versus Tommy Fury. Then we got Logan Paul versus Dillon Danis. Only fights I really want to talk about. I don't even know who's on the rest of the card. We'll have a little bit UFC talk towards the end. So let's get right into it. Let's talk about KSI versus Tommy Fury here. My first thoughts on this. I'm not a fan of KSI. Never been. I know he has a huge fan base. And, he's been around for a long time. So kudos to him for that. But low-key, I really feel like he's been becoming... irrelevant or maybe losing influence, which is normal. Your fans get older, you get older, time goes by, especially just in the social media, like shit moves on so fast, so it's understandable. But I think doing the prime now, which is good for him and the company and Logan, and I think the only reason why he's boxing is to promote his own business and just to milk some money. It's easy money for KSI if you really think about it. All you got to do is not fight Jake Paul and talk about Jake Paul. And fight. And then, fight a whole bunch of whatevers. And then eventually, they either fight or they don't. But, that's KSI. Like, it's nothing. It's not serious to him. I don't think it's serious. I'm sure he trains like it's serious. He's clearly on a good diet. He looks great. But, it's just not... He just started doing this again. Like, he boxed Logan, then he stopped, then he picked it up again because of Jake Paul. Only reason why he picked it up. Only reason. Then he showed up with Prime and, whatever. And then now, it's all, to me now, just all pure, promotion. It's all for them to make money. That's it. That's the only way I see it. So... because if KSI wasn't doing boxing, he tried doing the rapping or the singing. That never really worked out for him. So, I don't know. I'm not hating on KSI, but not a fan. Clearly, you could tell. And he's not. I don't think he's that good either as far as boxing. He looks great in videos. He looks shredded as fuck. But when he goes in there and fights, he's fought in like nobodies. And then on top of that, his last fight, he won with the legal elbow. and everyone thought he won, and it wasn't even. And it's just like, bro, like what's the hype? Where's the hype? I don't get it. I want to see it. I don't get it. I need somebody to explain to me that the hype is real, or I need him to box somebody for real. And I mean, for him to jump into fighting Tommy Fury, I don't. I'm a bit confused by that decision, because either he knows that this is his last fight, influencer fight, or he truly thinks that he's gonna fight Tommy Fury, and then he can potentially beat Jake Paul. But I honestly think this is his last fight, because I mean, why not go out with a bang, which is Tommy Fury. You go fight Tommy Fury. You never fight Jake Paul. You don't want to do that to yourself. You don't want to lose against Jake Paul. Very understandable. I get it. But you milked the cow. You pumped it all. You pumped this money, and you made the most money. Now he's probably rich as fuck. Prime is fucking booming. And, I mean, he's the face of that company, so he needs to promote it in every way possible. And he's doing it through boxing. But he's going to get humbled by Tommy Fury. Tommy Fury's going to make it easy work, light work. And, I mean, like I said, this is going to be KSI. It's most likely KSI's last fight. I just don't see him fighting anyone else just because he's fighting Tommy Fury. The pinnacle or the top, whatever. Now, and he just won't fight Jake Paul. It's just like Jake Paul has the competition he's fought, how many times he's been in the ring with the stakes so high. It's just like, Jake Paul has so much more experience in that atmosphere. He's trained a little bit longer. He's just done it more, and he seems to be pretty good at it. And it's just like, KSI is just not. He hasn't shown that, and he just doesn't. He doesn't. In my opinion, he doesn't have the same pull as Jake Paul. Because when Jake Paul knocks somebody out, it's all over Twitter. It's all over social media. And for KSI, it's just not the same. It's not the same. It's just not the same gravity or the same pull, you could say. So, yeah, I mean, this is going to be, KSI's last fight. And I mean, if he loses, I mean, he lost. If he wins, I just don't see that happening. But if he wins, I'm sure he'll call out Jake Paul or still won't fight Jake Paul. I don't know. Like I said, this is all pure entertainment, all, fun and games, nothing serious. And again, I just want to watch it because of entertainment purposes. But the fight that I really, really want to watch, and the only reason why I'm going to watch, is Dillon Danis versus Logan Paul. Now, this fight I am excited for. And I am looking forward for them to fight, if I'm being honest with you. And the reason why, and I don't know if this is like a personal thing I have with Logan, I don't know. But, when during, COVID, like the beginning, I started watching podcasts, and, listening to different podcasts, which on one of them was JRE, and then I started listening to Impulsive. And I liked, I found it entertaining. I liked it. It was funny. It was cool. And I was like, okay, cool. I like, I've never really been a fan of Logan, but I kind of like his pod. It's pretty entertaining. So I started watching his pod. I liked the episodes. I liked the guests. I just enjoyed it. I really did. And I kind of became a fan. And then clearly the George Janko stuff happened. And that's when I was like, what the heck? And then the crypto stuff, like he got involved with the whole Pokemon cards. I thought all that stuff was fucking cool, man. I was invested in Logan, and he was not one of the main reasons, but I was like, okay, he has a pod, and I kind of started to get inspired about pod. But there was a lot of people that I looked up to on social media that inspired me to make a pod, and Logan had a little bit in involvement in that, and to see what he was doing with the Pokemon cards, and he did his crypto stuff, and I was like, wow, this is cool, it's cool. But then he started getting a little too sketchy with it, and that's when I was like, I don't know. And then his pods were a little just not, I don't know if I started growing or going a different direction in the mindset, or his pod was just different. I don't know, but it just started, it wasn't as entertaining to me. I didn't find myself listening to it as much, but I kept following, here and there, and watched some major guests on the episodes, things like that. But then, again, like I mentioned a second ago, the whole George Janko stuff happened, and that's when I was like, dude, like, what? Like, you're such a shitty friend. Like, why would you say that to your friend? And I was just confused. And then like more stuff came out, and then obviously the whole scam thing came out. I was like, fuck, man, Logan's a piece of shit. And just like that, you know, I was like, man, like Logan's like lame. He's a piece of shit. I don't know. I feel like all the stuff he said in the past about him being this and, you know, making it seem like he's a better person. I was like, I think all that stuff was just fake and just all for, you know, part of his social media stuff. I don't know. I really don't. But he just became very unlikable too in general. The whole Tate stuff too. He was talking shit about Andrew Tate, shit like that. And I thought that shit was weird. I'm like, bro, you literally filmed somebody, you know, dead and you posted it on YouTube. Like, what are you talking about? So, you know, now Dillon Danis got announced. That fight got announced, and it was just like, hey, Dillon Danis ain't gonna show up. Dillon Danis is gonna talk his shit. Then he starts talking about his fiance, and it's like, oh shit, Dillon Danis talking all that crazy shit. But I mean, he's not gonna show up. And bro, Dillon Danis looks like he's showing up. Dillon Danis looks like he's ready to fucking go and beat this guy's ass. Only reason why I'm saying that is because, you know, I've seen a few videos of him, you know, just interviews, but I seen the podcast with him and Schultz, and he said a few things about Logan. And then the things that he just said in general, the way he talks, he's not a bad guy. It's just all character. He's playing a character for the internet. That's not who he is. He's not that troll. He's an internet troll, but that's not really who he is. Now, going after his fiance, I honestly, for what Logan's done, I have no sympathy for him or his fiance. I'm just like, Logan, you're a piece of shit. I don't give a fuck what happens to you. Like that. I mean, what Dillon Danis is doing to you, that's what you deserve, to be honest. That's karma, because you haven't paid your people back. And then you have the other crypto stuff. It wasn't even just Crypto Zoo. He took out, like, he made other 2 companies that you invest in like this Pokemon. It was shit like that. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but I haven't heard shit of that at all. So to me, I'm like, bro, you just scammed. You made a shit ton of money off crypto, and you bounced. And that to me is pretty shitty. So whatever happens, like, you know, to you or your fiance, like, and it's not that bad. You're just getting trolled on the internet. Like, it's nothing crazy. Now, does it suck? I'm sure it does suck. But, you know, people invested hella money into you, into a brand, into a company, and you just took it away from them. And I mean, I don't know. Like, if I invested all the money I had for the last 2 years, and I invested it and was hoping to get a return and never got shit back, and the guy just bounced, went to fucking Puerto Rico and disappeared, I would be pretty fucking upset. Pretty upset. And I would do anything in my power to get that money back, if I'm being honest. But, you know, Logan having money, having power, having connections, no one's probably going to get their money back. So I have no sympathy for Logan and what's going to happen to him or anyone around him. Because I'm like, you know, if that's who he is and the people around him are the people around him, I'm just like, I don't want, like, it's just, I don't know, man. It's just weird. So when George left and all that drama started happening and how George started talking about Logan, it's like, damn, like, Logan didn't sound like a good friend. George just really wanted to have some real honest conversations about certain topics, and they kind of got blowed off. And it's just all shitty. It's all shitty. And, you know, now Dillon Danis is going after his neck, like, before the fight. And it's crazy how hard he's going on Logan. But again, I'm here for it, and I'm fucking enjoying every bit of it. And it's going to be such, I'm going to, like, enjoy watching Dillon beat Logan. Especially if he does win, I'm going to enjoy it even much more. I'm like, that's what you fucking get, you piece of shit. That's what you deserve. Like, to get humiliated like that on pay-per-view and then, you know, have it all over the internet. Because Logan's always been in a position, like, very cocky, you know, a jock position on Twitter. And not that I hate that. Like, I find some, like, I'm a little bit like that in some parts. But I'm like I said, it's just a whole scam and friend thing. I'm just like, bro, you're just a shitty person. And then now with the lawsuits, you know, towards Dillon, I'm like, bro, you're so lame. Like, you're so lame. You're literally you filed a lawsuit, or his fiance filed a lawsuit, and I'm just like why? And you put yourself in a lose-lose situation. In my head, I think it's a lose-lose situation. because you're already embarrassing yourself with putting the lawsuits. I don't think he's gonna win the lawsuits, if I'm being honest with you. But can you imagine? You do the lawsuits, embarrass yourself. You lose the lawsuits on top of that. Then on top of that, you lose the fucking fight. Like, bro, you're just, I don't know. I feel like that's what's gonna happen, and I'm just like, you should have just stayed in your lane and fought Dillon Danis and shut the fuck up. Now, no one's gonna take you serious. I mean, you'll still have your fans, but you're just gonna start to become slowly irrelevant. And he did this to himself because he made a fucking comeback. Like, people started liking Logan Paul again, including myself. And now he just went completely the other side again. And it's just like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know. It's pretty weird. But yeah. Dillon Danis, I hope you win. But Logan Paul's juiced up. Roided up. He's fucking huge. I'm sure he works out hard as fuck. He's a fucking WWE. Like, he's doing his thing. But he's clearly on something. Now, you can see a big difference between Dillon Danis and Logan Paul as far as size, which is fucking hilarious. So I think that's where the disadvantage is for Dillon Danis. But we'll see how the fight goes. Dillon Danis is a fighter, clearly a mixed martial artist. So we'll see how the fight goes. I don't know. But it's going to be entertaining. It's just all fun, all entertainment, and that's it. And that's why I'm not too excited. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice. Like, I'm just like, this is internet drama, internet fun, influencer shit. I don't know. And me talking about it, I'm just like, man, like, this shit's kind of whack, if I'm being honest with you. And I'm like, I feel like lame kind of talking about it. But let's talk about UFC, man. Let's talk about some real shit. And let's fucking move on, to be honest with you. So, in the Volkanovski's going on, breaking news. We got breaking fucking news. Charles Oliveira pulled out the fight. My heart dropped. I bought this shirt just to watch the fight. Now I can't wear it. I mean, I'm still going to wear it, but, it's going to be because the GOAT, the man, the champ. I mean, I don't know how to describe how badass Volkanovski is, but the dude don't give a fuck. He wants to make a statement. He wants to be great. He wants to be the GOAT. And this is the breaking news, guys. If you don't even know, fucking Charles Oliveira just pulled out the fight. According to Dana White, he said that he was sparring last night on the 5th round, finishing up his camp, and he split his eyebrow wide open and had to get stitches and pulled out the fight. Very, very unfortunate. It honestly breaks my heart because I wanted to see Charles Oliveira, redeem himself, prove himself again, that he is capable of being champion again. And to be sparring and to get cut open like that, I mean, it must be tough, and it sucks because I can imagine what that training camp was like. I bet that training camp was fucking amazing. It was one of the best, probably the best training camp he's had. He was fucking ready to bounce back and get his title back, and then the unfortunate, the unexpected happens. And I mean, it's life. But I'm gonna be real honest with you. This is the worst situation for Charles Oliveira as far as the title, and this is the best situation for Alexander Volkanovski to put himself in GOAT status and put himself at one of the best in the UFC to ever step in the cage. So, and the reason why I say this because for Charles, he was waiting for this fight. He had to go fight Beneil Dariush. And went into a crazy training camp and he fucking took him out. And then he gets ready for the Islam fight. That shit gets made and gets announced, and he's been training since then. And I'm telling you, bro, the Bronx Oliveira train, the hype has been so fucking real. And I mean, everyone's been, hyping up this guy, and including myself, my favorite fighter. This is my favorite fighter. And he fucking got injured, man, and it sucks. It fucking sucks, but I'm not even that upset because of the banger that we got. We got a fucking banger. Volkanovski against Islam Makhachev 2. We all know how the last fight went this year, and everybody thought Volk won. They wanted the rematch. Volk's got the rematch. And what's even more crazy, if I'm not mistaken, And Volkanovski, when he fought Yair, he had said that if Charles gets hurt, he's ready. I want to say that was his last fight. But that's even more crazy that Volkanovski even said, if he pulls out or if he gets hurt, I'm ready, call me. And and it's just one of those things where you're just like, nah, it's like whatever. That's not going to happen. And next thing you know, like they called Volkanovski within hours of that fucking whenever it happened. And Volkanovski said, no fucking problem. Let's fucking go. Bro, what? And it's not even, and it's against Islam Makhachev. I'm not a fan, but I mean, you're fighting a really good guy, and it was in the works to fight Aaliyah in January. And I'm like, bro, Volkanovski's fucking insane. Now, I'm not going to give any predictions because that's next week's video, but fuck, man, this is crazy. Like I said, breaking news. And this sucks for Islam, and don't get me wrong, Islam is a fucking animal. He's a fucking beast. But he trained for Charles Oliveira. I know this is their second fight, so there's not really, you kind of been in the ring with this guy, so you know how to move and things like that. But for Volkanovski, I think he has the upper hand here, because Charles was training for, Islam was training for Charles, and Volkanovski, as long as he stayed healthy and in shape, then he already knows. I bet he's been thinking about this rematch. I bet he's like, this is what I need to do better to fucking, win the fight and make it no doubt, like no excuses that I'm gonna win. And this is another thing to think about. Islam wanted to fight. He wants to fight in Abu Dhabi when he fought Volk. Now he's getting that fight. Now you start thinking, well, Charles, he pulled out the fight. Maybe he don't got to fight Islam in Abu Dhabi when that happens again, if it happens again. So, it's really crazy. Now, like I said, this is the worst thing that could happen to Charles. Because now Charles Oliveira has to wait, and he has to, if he wants to rematch with Islam, he has to hope that Islam wins against Volkanovski. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. You're asking for a lot from Islam to make it an easy win. And for Volkanovski, if he wins, it's the best thing that could fucking happen for him. He runs it back with Islam. UFC 300. I already seen the fucking tweets going crazy. We talking about how Volkanovski wins, then we get Islam and Volkanovski trilogy in fucking April for UFC 300. That'd be a fucking banger. And then maybe, Charles, and unfortunately, Charles Oliveira has to be on the sidelines and fight someone else, or he just has to wait for, when they handle the business or they handle their businesses. It's fucking insane. It's crazy. And I'm, like I said, I'm a big Charles fan, but we're getting another banger. So you can't be that upset. I'm upset. Like I said, I bought this shirt only to watch that fight and because I'm a fucking Charles fan. And you can call me a Charles fanboy or whatever, but like I'm telling you guys, I'm a Charles fan. Like I fucking edited this picture today and posted it on my wallpaper because I'm like, boy, the days are counting when my boy the Bronx is finna be champion again. Unfortunately, we're going to have to wait. But we get a banger. And like I said, Volkanovski's a bad motherfucker, man. They called him and said, hey, Charles pulled out. I bet he didn't fucking believe it. I bet he thought, the UFC was playing with his feelings. Man, I bet he's training right fucking now. Right now. And the good thing is that it's at 155. So, like, depending, where his weight's at. Man, I'm excited. I'm excited because fucking Volkanovski won that first fight. He won the first fight. I don't care. So this is a fight to redeem himself on a 10 days notice too. So, that's all I want to say, guys. Breaking news. If you haven't fucking seen it, you heard it here first or second or third or fifth on the False Nine podcast. But, guys, I'm going to keep you up to date, and we'll give those predictions next fucking week for when the fight comes. We have UFC 294. UFC 294 is next Saturday, and we already had a fucking banger of a card. No reason to make any adjustments or nothing. We're just waiting for the day to come. Next thing you know, it's going to be in the video probably right after this little cut thing. Next thing you know, Charles pulls out the fight, and it's like, yo, what the fuck? Volkanovski steps up and takes it, whatever. But that I didn't put in this other video because it was hours later. Fucking Paulo Costa has also pulled out the fight, and I was like the whole day thinking, "Fuck, man, who's gonna want to fight Khamzat Chimaev, because he's a fucking animal. He's the boogeyman, and he's gonna like slowly become a champion because no one's gonna want to fight him. And I mean, I want to see. I don't know, man. I want to see him fight someone like Izzy, Sean, Drakus. Like to see him get, tested with some real killers, But yeah. And everyone was questioning. And then Gilbert Burns posted a picture on Twitter, like, look who's getting ready, this and that, and it's fucking Usman getting ready. And I'm like, fuck, can you imagine if he steps up and takes his fight? And man, he did exactly that. He did exactly that. And I never hated on Usman or Volkanovski, none of them. No. But Usman's a real one for taking that fight. It's a hard fight. And I think they're going to fight at 85. I don't think they're going to cut down to 75. Usman fights at 75. Or I don't know how they're going to figure out, but he's taking the fucking fight. He's going to fight a big Chimaev. No question. And I'm like, bro. But can you imagine if fucking Usman goes in there and gets it fucking done and he stays at 185? That would be insane. I don't know. It would be. It's just insane. The whole card shit's insane. The fact that we still got bangers is insane. Usman stepping up though. It's Kamaru Usman against Khamzat Chimaev. Fucking banger for the co-main. And I'm like, damn, just damn. And I'm blown away. I'm really blown away from these athletes in the UFC. Especially Volkanovski and Usman, just for taking these fights on 10 days notice. And can you imagine if one of these guys gets it done against their opponent, because they're fighting the best of the best on a 10-day notice? You got to be a real fucking savage to do that. And I mean, that's what they're doing. And it's so impressive. And I mean, you got to just give them their credit, man. You got to give them the credit. So, I don't know, man. Like I said, we'll talk about predictions next week, but it's fucking exciting. I mean, I've been kind of like just like since there's been no UFC, right? Next thing you know, Charles fight gets canceled. I'm like, no, man. Like I needed some energy. And then we got Volkanovski, and I just got excited last night. I even made a fucking video about it. And then the Paulo fight, that shit got canceled. And then it's just like, damn, who's gonna step up? Like I don't think no one's gonna step up to fight Khamzat. Like nobody wants that fight. Nobody wants to fight Khamzat. If I'm being honest, people can talk their shit, but nobody wants that fight with Khamzat. Khamzat's just way too fucking good. He's fucking scary. And yeah, so we got bangers fucking next Saturday. And I don't know like why I feel this way, but it feels like the card got better. Like I love Charles Oliveira, but for some reason I want to see Islam versus Volkanovski too. I want to see that fight. And I think it's because we all know Volkanovski arguably won that fight, and he can potentially beat Islam the second time. And I think this is why we want to see it so bad. And the fact that it is happening is like, oh shit. Now for the Khamzat fight, we just want to see Khamzat fight. But the Costa fight was good. But Costa's always been kind of like a goofball on Twitter and just kind of like annoying. He hasn't fought nobody since like Izzy. So I don't know. Like it's just kind of like Paulo's not really a pool in my opinion. Or just as entertaining. Just talks so much shit and never really shows up to fight. But I mean, he's a great fighter. But that's how I feel towards him. Now, for Usman, clearly lost against Leon twice. But he's been a fucking dominant champ. He's a fucking animal. He's a beast. But, he steps up to fight Khamzat. And it's like, bro, you got a badass against a badass. Wow. Like, just wow. Like, I don't know. One of the most badasses people. I mean, I don't know how to explain it, guys. I'm fucking speechless. Islam Makhachev, Alexander Volkanovski, Kamaru Usman, Khamzat Chimaev. Those 4 names are fighting on next Saturday night. That's fucking insane, bro. Insane. Like, that card is stacked. And those are just 2 fights. I got to go look at the other people that are fighting, but it's just so stacked. And it's just going to be so entertaining, and I can't fucking wait. And like I said, I don't know why, but it just feels like the card just got better. It just feels that way. It's weird. But I'm excited for it, and I'm excited to see it, and it's fucking great news, And hopefully Paulo recovers pretty quick, and hopefully Charles Oliveira can come back. And I just feel bad for Charles, man. But I said that in the following clip here. But Another thing that I want to talk about is your guy, your boy Bilal Muhammad. I don't know whether we're gonna fight this fight, but I'm sure he was one of those names mentioned. I wonder if he was even offered the fight. You know, I know that they were gonna fight at 185. I don't know where they're gonna fight this fight at. So it doesn't make any sense for him to fight, you know, Khamzat Chimaev, but it definitely would have been a statement if he took that fight. So, like I said, it's a hard fight, but I just want to bring that up because I thought it was pretty interesting that Usman took it. But anyways, moving on. So I don't know anything about this, but USADA apparently is not going to work with the UFC anymore, so they're not going to be USADA testing. So I'm curious to see how they're going to do their like doping testing in the UFC and how that's going to work, and if there's going to be like a pool system or just what, like, dude, you got to be clean, peak clean now and fight tomorrow, or like random. I don't know. I'm curious how that's going to work, but I'm sure more of it's going to be announced soon. So yeah. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the episode. I'm sorry for not recording earlier this week. There was just no content and there was nothing really to talk about. I kind of feel bad just talking about the KSI fight because I'm honestly not as intrigued to watch it. But it's just pure entertainment. I don't go out that much. I'm going to be entertained on Saturday during the day and just watch it. Like, that's how I see it, you know. But I promise you guys, once we get back on this UFC content, that shit's going to be fire. And everything's going to be better, you know. Because, I mean, I love talking about UFC. I'm telling you guys, that shit gave me life yesterday. And I'm really excited. I'm really excited for the upcoming weeks. And I'm going to work on just making more and better UFC content in general, because I've noticed that that's what works best for me and just for the channel. So I'll see you guys on the next one. Hope you guys enjoy your week. I hope you guys enjoy your weekend, your week, whatever. Had a great one. Hope you guys got paid. If not, just hold off one more week. And, you know, stay positive. Stay strong. Peace.